In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at some sneak peek information. There was about 2 or 3 things on Twitter yesterday that hinted at some really good sneak peek information. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Okay guys, so the first one is actually going to be on the main Brawl Stars account. I know I don't normally do these types of videos, but I feel like I've got a lot of information to share with you guys, which is really exciting. So the first one is going to be the tweet which was put out earlier today. So you can see it's just a high score gif, you know, on first eye. Probably don't feel like there's nothing really important about it. Of course, on these graphics, I see a lot of other YouTubers really go into detail about this. Maybe this isn't the one like kind of type for me, but there is a main point that I'm going to be talking about right here. So the main one for me, there's always on these graphics a Brawl Talk date. And on this one, again, we have the Brawl Talk date pretty sure right here. So we can see 8/7. I don't know what that really alludes to. But we see 25/02/2023. So if you're wondering what that means, that is the 25th of February 2023. So whether that's the Brawl Talk date or the update date or something like that. Of course, Paula did say in the last Brawl Talk that the next time she'll see us is in February. So not necessarily at the beginning of February, just any time. So with the size of the update and how excited the dev team, you know, kind of sound on social media and whatever else, it sounds like they're really busy and it sounds like it's going to be a good update. So of course these graphics are amazing. Also, just a quick few side notes as well. We've got a Bad Random sign, which probably is another song. I do like actually the Bad Randoms is pretty cool overall. And of course, as you kind of look around, you know, there's Otis on the wall, no mega boxes. And I think there's one sign, oh yeah, it's over to the right, and that looks like Mr. P's. So I'm not too sure what these kind of things allude to, but obviously the big one is Brawl Talk. So I feel like Brawl Talk has to be on this day. Okay, so jumping into the big sneak peek, which a lot of people probably missed out on because it was actually a reply to Me on Toast, which was pretty interesting. You can see basically every single day now, Frank on Twitter has been running polls on which maps people like, because the map pool hasn't changed for a while. But anyways, that isn't the main point of it. So you can see here, I say, although I don't really like center stage, I think it's a good map to push tanks on because, you know, tanks in the meta, they're starting to thrive a little bit more now, but, you know, in previous metas, they really were countered too hard, and it was really hard to push tanks, especially high trophies, like above 1,000, did suffer quite a fair bit. So, did like center stage, it is a really grassy map. So, this is the big one right here. So, you can see, if we zoom in on the tweet, we might have something else in mind which might give tanks a little boost. So that is really exciting stuff. Some people don't like tank metas, but you can remember back when they added the super trait, where basically whenever you took HP, well, it is the same now, right? Whenever you take HP, whenever you take damage, you will obviously build up that super. That was a big thing when it was first released a couple of years ago, nearly 2 years ago now, I believe. So that was huge for the game when that first came out. It made El Primo like the best brawler in the game by far. It made all the tanks the best brawlers in the game. Then we had to emergency nerf it pretty like a day after or something because it's just way too broken. So they've got to be a little bit careful here. They've got to be a little bit careful buffing and changing things. So this could be in the form of a few things. So we'll go through the replies right here and have a look. So me, myself, I've spoke about it a few times where wall breaks and grass, brawlers that remove grass, it's a little bit annoying, right? Especially when there's just so many wall break abilities now in the game. You know, for example, like a Brock gadget can just open up the map straight away. Griff gadget, rough super, just so many things breaking open walls and just makes it hard for throwers and tanks to thrive. So the point I'm getting at is walls with health or respawnable grass. Some time ago, ages ago now, I think in beta days, grass used to actually replenish. I don't know how long it was until it replenished after it was broken, but of course that would be an interesting choice. We've got a few things right here, but also Luigi makes a good point. Supercharging gear stacking with supercharged trait, it says straight but it means trait, could be interesting. And of course tanks are actually really up in the meta now, so a lot of people really wondering what is going on. And to be honest, it's going to be a hard one. Maybe there's going to be a new gear with the tanks, where basically with these tanks, maybe like their super trait actually becomes a little bit better. I'm not too sure. There's going to be a lot of options right here. We'll see what actually goes on. Of course, there's a few tanks that definitely need like a rework. For example, like Brawl has been really bad in the meta for a long time. And we see on Reddit, and a lot of YouTubers already spoke about it already, basically how they want his Stomper gadget to be incorporated into his main build. That'll be pretty interesting. I think that'll be a good buff for Bull. People are talking about the Bull change as well. Hopefully Frank gets some love as well. A lot of tanks could potentially be getting a big buff in the update. And again, going into the big sneak peek, which again, a lot of people probably missed out. He's only got 25,000 views on his tweet. But again, a lot of people would probably just skip by this and not really read into it. But as you can see, the map pool for Brawl Stars Esports, why is this important to everyone, right? Of course, it's not important to everyone, but to begin with on the eye. But basically, the map pool hasn't been changing, and Frank has a reason for that. So he thinks so on his tweet. He says, we'll make smaller adjustments in March. I'd also expect some significant meta changes with that update. I suggest to get mentally ready for that. That is a huge statement. Again, a lot of people must have just read by that tweet, because that is the biggest hint to the new update. It's going to be crazy, let's just say that. I mean, game changing could mean a lot of things he does say, which of course it could literally mean anything. It could mean some crazy new maps which no one would have ever saw before. You know, we've been saying for a long time as well, maps like Minecart Madness, you know, there's a lot of different ways they can actually create maps. Like we're yet to see like another dynamic map in the game, you know, like I don't know, like some water going through the map, for example. I don't really know, I'm not too creative with stuff like that, but I'd like something to be a little bit more interactive with the map. So hopefully some dynamic interactive maps in the future could shift the meta a lot in the future. Of course, the walls, I think the walls is going to be a big one. Of course, I think in my personal opinion is that there shouldn't be unbreakable walls, because, you know, for throwers and tanks are just going to be completely broken. But I think walls with HP could be pretty nice. It does say a lot of things as well. Someone did ask him about the gadgets and the star powers, but he said, but he didn't really say too much about it. Basically, he's saying that some people might find that star power useful. And then the final one for Frank's Twitter event. So someone asked him about, will there be any reworks to bad brawlers like Edgar or Bull? And he says, I wouldn't expect anything. So for me, I think that just alludes to Edgar and Bull being reworked. So I think this next update is going to shift the meta completely. Alright guys, it's going to be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed this one. So just kind of an open dialogue in today's video. I feel like I wanted to switch it up a little bit. Let me know whether you like these more chill videos, whether you want me to go in depth about ideas on what I think could potentially be coming to the game, because again, it's a huge one. I feel like everyone should be talking about this right now. One of the biggest meta shifts probably the game has ever seen, because let's face it, right now the meta is good, it's balanced, but it's been pretty much the same for ages now. You know, brawlers like Max dominating the meta for a long time. It's just kind of the same old. So I expect probably a lot of balance changes, a lot of star powers, a lot of new gears probably as well, because there's a lot of mythic gears being needed to be added. There's also epic gears, like there's not been a new epic gear in the last update, so maybe some epic gears as well. And then we'll start to look at the tanks a little bit here then. So Ash, I mean, Ash doesn't really need to be buffed, right? Ash is a really strong brawler. Same goes with Sam. Maybe we will just buff every single tank. Buster, still pretty good. Fang, he's pretty good in his niche, but still need with a little bit of love. But the main ones that everyone is probably alluding to in terms of tanks needing love, the same like Jackie. Jackie has been at the bottom of the meta for the longest time, so maybe in the future something could definitely change with that one. And then it also, like, Daryl is a little bit niche, still pretty strong. Rosa has been pretty bad in the meta for a long time as well. Primo, he's starting to be a little bit more viable now, but still he's suffered for such a long time. Same goes with Bull as well. You know, Edgar, a lot of these brawlers just haven't received any love for a while. So for me, I would expect a big change. A lot of the worst brawlers in the game potentially getting reworked or just getting big buffs or changes. So yeah, a lot of question marks right now with the update, but exciting times for sure. There's going to be a lot of information to come in the next few weeks, so if you don't want to miss out on that, make sure to subscribe. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.